welcome to a small Precure review on Metanorn. I know this series didn't get much of a following here on Metanorn, but I had fun watching it from the start to finish, so I feel like wanted to go ahead and throw this review out there, just throw it out there, so people know it and they can listen to it, and maybe they'll change their opinion on it, and maybe they might want to watch it later on, who knows. It's a 40 episode series. It follows like a fairy tale theme. You have like Cinderella, Big Bad Wolf, just little stories like that. So fairy tales are kind of easy for children to get into. And this is a show aimed at the younger crowd, so it's by Toei Animation, which is not really known very much from. I only know him for One Piece. That's all I know him from. And it started back in February 2012 and ran. It recently ended here in January this year. So, and this follows 5 middle school girls who become magical girls. And with 5, we have a leader type, which is technically always pink most of the time. It's either pink or red. I've never seen a red one, but I usually see pink ones as kind of like default leader. And but show wouldn't be out without the characters. So we have our main girl, which, if you think about all of them are kind of mains, so it's kind of hard to divide them all into like main, secondary, and all that. But we have Miyuki. She's the first one to meet Candy, which Candy's a fairy that gives these girls the power to transform, guides them, and all that kind of thing. Miyuki, she's hyper. I call her hyper because she's always doing something crazy or something weird, and she loves fairy tales. And her catchphrase is like ultra happy and things like that. So being happy and spreading happiness is her thing, which is nice. It's nice to have a fun personality for her. And she becomes cure happy when she uses like energy attacks and stuff like that. Kind of like happiness is her attack power, I guess. The second girl you meet in episode 2 is Akane. She's redhead, kind of a tomboy, comedic at times. She's athletic and also very competitive. It's another girl on the team that she just gets. Those two get competitive very fast. And she becomes Cure Sunny, who uses fire-based attacks. I like that. Episode 3, you meet the next girl, Yayoi. She's blonde and she's kind of a shy character. She keeps to herself most of the time when you first meet her. And she likes superheroes and giant robots. Generally anything that's like, gives people hope and it's like, saving the day type of thing. Heroes in general, I guess. And she draws manga, and later on she becomes Cure Peace in that episode. And Cure Peace uses lightning attacks. And the fun thing about her, with her transformations, she always plays rock, paper, scissors when she transforms, so it's always like every week was different. She'll play rock sometimes and paper. Even the villains kind of break the fourth wall when she does that. And he's like, "Wait, you played rock last time." That's pretty funny. In episode 4, we meet Now. She's got green hair. She's also very sporty, just like Akane. And she's the other girl that Akane kind of competes against, since they're both pretty athletic. Because Akane likes volleyball and Now likes soccer, so they got that sports type of thing between them. And with her, she has a big family, so she's always taking care of her little brothers and sisters. And her big things like, family. Even though she's a kind of a sports person, she does like cute things. But she has one I guess fear, bugs. Even bugs that don't bite, she just can't stand being around them. It's pretty funny. And she becomes Cure March, who uses wind-based attacks. That's kind of cool. And then episode 5, the last girl we meet, and kind of the brainiac of the group, is Reika. She's, like I said, she's kind of the brains. She's almost a princess type of character. She's very proper and everything. And she's kind of the quiet one, but she has some standout moments. And she's like a vice student council president type thing. She likes archery, and she becomes Cure Beauty, and she uses ice-based power. And in some episodes she can create like weapons out of her ice power. It's kind of neat. And of course, every Precure series needs like a series of villains. to help push the story around. And these baddies are from like kind of fairy tale worlds, except for a few of them where they fit. But we have Wolf Run. He's obviously a big bad wolf, and we have Red Oni. He's a red demon guy. I think it's mostly a Japanese thing. Majorina, she's like a witch who uses like potions and inventions and devices and things like that often land the girls in like being shrunk, switching bodies, turning invisible, things like that. It's a typical just fun magic things, I guess you could say. And then rounding up those bosses is a Joker. He's like a jester. I'm not sure what story he fits in either. He's just kind of, but he's the one that gives the others the commands and stuff. And what their job is, they're trying to collect bad energy to revive, I guess, their master Perot. He's like this giant version of Joker, basically. And most Precure have the villain, the bad guy of the episode, which is they call him a con base. And these are like summoned from anything, basically. Like a chair could become a monster, a car, anything that the bosses use during that week. And as they go along through the series, they get stronger and stronger because of they have these clown faces. So clown faces have different colored noses, which serve different purposes during the fights. So like one's weak against their main attack, so then they upgrade to they need to do a super move to defeat it, and so on. They even do it where the different little mini boss characters can jump inside the monster and basically take over like it's a giant robot. They can control it from the inside. And after all that, the main story, they're trying to the fairies like Candy and her brother Pop eventually shows up, and their main goal is to, I guess, get these little decors, which are like little pieces of jewels, whatever. And they're trying to get this whole, I guess, a page, a book. They're trying to get the page full of these little jewels, so they can awaken the queen that's asleep right now. And that's the main plot of the story, and why the girls are fighting these other monster things every week. And like I said, I think I said before, this is 48 episodes, so there's unfortunately a lot of filler when you have the long running series like a Precure or any kind of long running shonen. But they have a handful of episodes that I liked, so I'll probably briefly talk about some of the ones I had fun with. Besides the intro episodes, which they're interesting because you do get to meet all the girls and you get kind of a feel of their personalities, and once all of them are together, it's always fun. So we had episode 11, which I mentioned Majorina for a minute. I guess the girls find one of her little things, and it shrinks everybody, so everyone's like super tiny. And during that, it's a lot of things with bugs because they eventually go outside, and of course that means now the green one kind of freaks out because she's like screaming and hollering, and all the girls kind of like calm down, like it's not that bad. And they even I think Connie messes with her the whole episode because of that. And episode 14, it's an episode dedicated to Miyuki and her, because the girls go on a field trip, and something happens where she gets this bad luck, and she just everything that can go wrong will go wrong for her in the episode, like dropping food, stuff like that, ice cream especially. And episode 19, it's a kind of a emotional episode because it's a Father's Day themed episode, and it's centered around Yayoi, because I guess they do reveal that her father passed away, so everyone else is kind of experiencing Father's Day. They have fathers to do stuff with, and she doesn't really have a father right now, so to her I think it's a hard time, but like I said, it is emotional. And Haseko Kanemoto is the voice of Yayoi, and she I think knocked out the park with that episode. But there are other episodes that she gets a little more emotional, and they get a little bit better, but it's pretty nice. I know several Precure back in the day, like Heartcatch had a nice Mother's Day themed episode, so they are kind of aware of holidays and stuff, which is pretty nice. You don't really see Father's Day or Mother's Day really explored in many shows. So for I guess Precure, since it is aimed for a younger crowd, I guess it works. And after that, there's a series of episodes, I think, yeah, 20, 22, and 23, which in 22, Candy gets kidnapped by Joker because he finds out there's an item called a miracle jewel that can grant any wish, so he's trying to get that jewel from them. And in those two episodes, 22 is more of an emotional episode because the girls do go to rescue her, but they kind of get defeated real fast. So they're all kind of like beat up and they're not sure what they should do. And after they kind of rally themselves and get back together, they do go back and 23 and they fight the other guys again. And some of those episodes that one episode has probably like I think the best animation for a fight scene anyway. So you have 22 and 23, definitely nice episodes for action and drama and all that good stuff. And then shortly after that we have 35, which is another Miyuki episode where somehow she gets transformed into a giant robot because the girls all talking about, I don't know how that happens, but they're all excited about something, and Yayoi being, they actually get inside Miyuki and try to pilot and drive her, but Yayoi fails at it because she doesn't know how to do it. Everyone else fails, but Reika jumps in the pilot seat and just like it's a pro. Because she was reading the manual. I don't know why she came with the manual, it's pretty funny. But yeah, that episode's pretty good because they have mechs and you're like, Magical Girl is like, you would think only be just about magic, but they actually have a robot in there. It's pretty funny. 36 afterwards is a Connie episode. And that one kind of focuses on a exchange student named Brian Taylor who visits her school, and he doesn't really know Japanese too much, so the episode kind of pushes Akane to use more English. And as these two kind of hang out for like, I don't know how many days it was, but like I think a whole week, and they're kind of hanging out. And eventually I think she kind of realizes she actually kind of likes him. And like during the episode, the girls kind of rag on her in a funny way though, like teasing her like, oh, you like him and all that kind of stuff. And even though Kanye didn't really come out and say it's official, but I think there was something there. But since I think I said before, since it's aimed for younger crowd, I don't think they would pursue a romantic thing between a Precure and like a guy or anything. Even though I know it's happened before. I know there's probably previous versions of Precure that have explored romance and love, but who knows. And then shortly after that we have 40 through 44, which are episodes focused on each girl individually getting like a individual power up, like a different move or upgrades to their normal attacks. And the only one out of that I could mention is probably like Yayoi's, because hers was kind of neat. It's she's finally realizing that she wants to be a manga artist in the future, and she has to fight Red Oni, and he's kind of making fun of her. Everyone's kind of putting pressure on her to do this contest for a manga thing, and it all gets to her, and she kind of has to fight and power up, and kind of neat how that story came about. And the other standout one for those five are probably Reika's episode when she has to fight Joker. The episode, you see Reika become emotional, which is very rare, because like I said before, she's kind of a proper, kind of doesn't get too emotional often, and that pushes her to fight Joker, and she summons these swords, and that's when she gets her bow, her ultimate bow attack. And I know I said 22, 23 was some of the best fight. It was like 43 was like the third cool episode for action anyways, you like fight scenes. And then last one I mentioned is 44 with Miyuki. She gets her power up. It's like this massive happy shower attack that she can do. It's pretty funny. So basically it's like just a pink version of a Kamehameha wave, basically. You want to get technical about it. And two more episodes now in there. 47, we have the final showdown. Actually building up to the final showdown, sorry. With all the girls fighting, and Joker does something cool where he summons these 5 cards, and on the cards are the pictures of the different Precure, and he summons the bad end Precure, which technically I just call them the evil Precure. They're like copies of everyone else, but they have different hairstyles and their outfits a little different. And what happens in the episode, they all split up, they're all divided, and they kind of fight themselves. So you have like a whole Persona 4 type thing going on, where you gotta overcome yourself type of thing. And they did this in Heart Catch. I remember that those episodes were really cool. Cause that's my first time ever seeing a evil like Precure or evil magical girl type thing. So and like they're at the complete opposite of them. So yeah, Yoi, she's kind of this happy, hyper. No, not hyper. I mean, trying to shy and anything, but her copy is kind of the exact opposite. She kind of like jokes around a little bit with her. It's kind of funny. And like Miyuki's her copy, she's happy just as much as she is, but she gets her happiness from seeing others suffer. So it's kind of interesting how some of them have the opposite feelings, I guess. And like Reika's her copy is she believes beauty on the outside and she doesn't care about the inside and all that kind of stuff like that. Versus the regular now, or Reika, who believes in internal like beauty and stuff like that. So some of them have that. I don't think Nals or Akane's were like that. I think Akane's was just like more aggressive than her. So that episode is cool because, like I said, you see the evil ones. And during the episode, the three like Magic Arena, Red Oni, Wolf Run, it is revealed that they're actually fairies from the fairy world. They don't really explain how they became evil or what. They just kind of like, I guess, were corrupted by Joker or whatever you want to call it. And then finally, the last episode. It's it's a very emotional episode. I think they spent the first half of the episode with all the girls kind of upset and crying because they find out Candy, the fairy that's been with them for on how many months, is gonna leave because there's no more power left. And the girls during the episode they can't transform at the start because they kind of transform but they fail. They get beaten real fast. So Candy tells them the jewel that they have, that they can use it for one last chance. If they don't do it, they can lose. So like I said, it's emotional, and they do win the boss, obviously. But it was funny how they defeated the boss because Miyuki transforms into this gigantic version of herself, and they basically hug the final boss, and it's pretty neat, pretty funny. So they did that, and at the end, everyone's kind of crying. They're still upset because Candy leaves, and I think I don't know how many weeks passed. Maybe it may have been a month. I have no idea. They didn't really say. But Candy eventually comes back, and everyone's happy again. So, and that's, I think, the moral. I think that's the moral of the whole series, almost, is being happy. I think in general, and stuff like that. So, those were the episodes that I liked. And recently, I just asked people on Twitter if they had any comments or anything to say, and I got 2 responses. One from Grizzly Bear and one from AJ the Fourth. Just like I got kind of a quote from them, I guess. Grizzly Bear sent me one. He said, "From an outsider's perspective, Heart Catch is the better show with regards to the critical standards used to examine all forms of fiction in all mediums. However, in the content of the franchise, Smile emerges as the perfect match." Yeah, I kind of agree. Just the nice stuff with Heart Catch. I know it's pretty much everyone's go-to Precure when they first start out. So. Alright, AJ the Fourth, right? Smile Precure was the first Precure series that I watched in real time, often with others. So it will have a special place in my heart simply for that. Additionally, it was a great example of how a series can rigidly stick to a formula and execute it well for entertaining and fan results. Lastly, I always appreciate how much it remembers love towards Sailor Moon S Super S, as well as its announced direction. Yeah, I had to say that too. This is technically the very first Precure I followed from like day 1 to find the finale, and it was good. I like that quote. It's nice. And the only thing I can say with this is I had fun with it. I said a couple times. I think Yoi was the highlight of my week. Every week I saw what she was doing, and slowly but surely all the girls actually became my favorites. Even like Rika and now I didn't really I didn't really care for much from the beginning, but you know, they slowly came to be some cool characters, at least. Even the mascot, you know, I didn't really like her much, but after you get used to her being around screen, it's fun. I mean, I think she does make things lively. I think without her around, it would be kind of boring, of course. And that's been my review of Smile. I don't really want to give it a rating because you know ratings are kind of always up in the air with people. So in the next Precure series you might hear about Matt Norton is Doki Doki Precure, which recently premiered. I saw the first episode and it's really good. I'll have to share my stuff on it soon. Until then, see ya.